It was nice, Brianna, to see them at least shaking hands, though, right?
That's right. No, that was because remember the night before at the debate, they did not shake hands before or after, which was something different from the other debates that we'd seen. I will tell you, they were in a photo receiving line at the beginning of the dinner, and they did not shake hands, which certainly that's an opportunity where normally they would. So maybe they felt like the night actually went okay enough that then they did exchange some pleasantries, and they had that little talk, which was really interesting to hear about.
Yeah, kind of gives you a little bit of faith in America, right? Brianna Keeler reporting live for us this morning. A little bit, yeah. All right, so let's talk about all of this. With me now is Jason Johnson. He's the politics editor at TheRoot.com and a political science professor at Morgan State and a Sirius XM contributor. Jackie Kucinich is the Washington bureau chief for the Daily Beast, and Dana Bash is a CNN chief political correspondent. Welcome to all of you. Okay, so Dana, let's start with you. It was nice to see them shaking hands, and it was nice to see, I don't know, at least an attempt at pleasantries between the two candidates, right?
Yeah, and especially what we just heard from Cardinal Dolan about what happened behind the scenes, that he had some nice words for her, and that she said, whatever happens, we can work together. That is the kind of thing that you hope happens, that people, sort of go at it perhaps because they're trying to defend themselves and win the White House in public, but in private, they can have a more cordial conversation. It's certainly what I have witnessed over the years covering Congress happens every single day. They do their thing in public, and then in private they say, okay, we've done our thing, let's try to work together. We'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah, we'll see. So Jason, remember last night during the debate, Donald Trump called Hillary Clinton a nasty woman. And many people say that's really resonating with the very voters that he needs to attract, namely women. Well, one of his supporters, GOP Representative Babin, sort of doubled down on those comments. Here's what he had to say.
He called her a nasty woman.
Well,
was that appropriate?
You know what? She's saying some nasty things.
Do you think it's appropriate to call her a nasty woman?
Well, I'm a genteel Southerner, Alan.
So that means no?
No, I think sometimes a lady needs to be told when she's being nasty.
Oh, really?
I do.
So, Jason, thoughts?
Here's the thing. Not only was his nasty woman comment kind of inappropriate, and I honestly think that Donald Trump wanted to say something else when he paused earlier and said, this woman, I think he had other thoughts in mind, but it immediately got turned into a hashtag and a meme that helped out Hillary Clinton, and suddenly Janet Jackson's nasty from 1986 is jumping up on iTunes. I think the problem with Trump is that every attack he makes against Hillary Clinton is so over the top, it ends up being put back against him. He needs to spend more time talking about how he's going to make America great, putting his campaign together in key states like Iowa, rather than attacking her. Attacking Hillary Clinton isn't winning it for him.
Well, and Jackie, even in the state of Ohio, where the candidates are neck and neck, each has 45% support, there is a gender split. Clinton leads Trump among women, 51% to 39%. Trump leads Clinton among men, 51% to 38%. So these kinds of comments do matter.
Well, right, and that's his numbers with women and her numbers with men have dropped in Ohio. That was one of the things in the Suffolk poll that was super interesting. But I will disagree about how it's not that he's attacking Hillary Clinton that isn't working. It's how he's attacking Hillary Clinton that isn't working. In the debate the other night, she was being pressed about the Clinton Foundation and some of the involvement of her donors in the State Department. And Donald Trump interrupted and saved her and then started talking about his foundation. And so the attacks that he could be harping on several of her very prominent weaknesses. He's not. He's, has all these self-inflicted wounds. And yeah, her campaign has adopted and her supporters have adopted the nasty woman thing. And it's kind of an empowering message rather than what he meant was to tear her down.
And Dan, Trump's lack of support among women are hurting some female Republican candidates, namely in New Hampshire.
That's right, and this goes beyond gender. There's a significant change in the sort of pulse and DNA of this campaign, I believe, today, and that is the Chamber of Commerce, which is a Republican outside group, which has worked over the past many cycles to get Republicans elected, has a new ad up in New Hampshire today in support of the incumbent Republican Kelly Ayotte, who is down in the polls, making very clear that they need to elect somebody to be a check and balance with the White House. Let's play some of that ad.
America's future is far from certain, but no matter who the next president is, New Hampshire needs a strong voice in the U.S. Senate. That's Senator Kelly Ayotte. She works across the aisle to get things done. Maggie Hassan's record.
Carol, this is significant because the ad doesn't say Hillary Clinton's going to win. You got to keep the Republican Senate, but that is the clear message. And the other reason it's significant is because the people who I've talked to at this group are hoping that this is a signal to Republican candidates, to other groups, like-minded groups who want to keep the Senate, that they believe Donald Trump is not going to win the White House, and it's time to turn the focus exclusively and overtly to the Senate and even the House.
So Jackie, a question to you about the power of women voters. If women do indeed decide who wins the presidency this time around, what message will that send about the power of women in this country politically?
Well, women vote more than men, and so so I don't know that yes, it does send a message, but I think it also sends a message that the GOP, if in fact Hillary Clinton wins, that they've got a lot of work to do, because they're going to have to undo a lot of damage that Donald Trump has caused, not only with women, but with Latinos, with black voters. There's going to be a lot of cleanup come the days after November, in November.
And Jason, a last question about that question I posed to Jackie. It's just interesting to me because, women voters always get these labels, we're soccer moms, or we're this, or we're that. This year, we're just women voters, and somehow that feels good to me.
I'm sorry, Carol?
This year, there's no name attached to women. Can you hear me, Jason?
I'm having a little trouble. I'll say this. There was a really interesting poll. You talk about how women are going to be voting in the 2016 election. There was a great poll that came out from Pew. It was a couple months ago that showed that 35% of men said they think that their wives are going to be voting for Hillary Clinton, and 45% of women said they were going to be voting for Hillary Clinton. So clearly, there's probably going to be a silent majority of women, Republican, Independent, and Democratic, that are going to vote for Hillary Clinton this year, and they may not have told their husbands. So there's something else going on here at the bottom. That silent majority may not be working for the GOP and might end up working for the Democrats.
Interesting. Jason Johnson, Jackie Kucinich, Dana Bash, thanks as always. Still to